Now let's look at future track for today into Friday. Like I said, those rain showers for today expected to stay mostly to the north of us. So we expect mostly dry conditions for the rest of Thursday. And even the very early morning hours on Friday expected to be mostly dry as well. I'm talking between midnight and 5 a.m. or so. Then you can see this line of showers moving into Steuben, LaGrange, Noble, Kosciuszko, and Whitley County by 7 a.m. In Fort Wayne in between about 7 and 8 o'clock, and then off to the south and east of US 24 in between about 8 and 9 o'clock. Now, Friday's rain showers, like I said, expected to continue until about lunchtime ish, maybe a couple of hours after. And then those showers move out of our area, setting us up for drier weather for the second half of the day on Friday. So if you have evening plans to maybe go out to dinner on Friday, or you're going to go to the Tin Caps game on Friday, I do not expect weather to be an issue for you. So how much rain are we talking about with the Friday system? It's not a bunch, which honestly, we don't need a lot of rain, given the fact that we've just seen quite a bit of it over the past week and a half. But anywhere between about a tenth of an inch to maybe a quarter of an inch is possible with the Friday rain showers. Maybe one or two spots getting a little bit closer to that half-inch mark. But area-wide, the consensus seems to be that we're going to see about a tenth of an inch to a quarter of an inch. So a nice, gentle rain shower action for Friday lunchtime. And the weekend's looking pretty good right now. The weekend forecast is looking dry. Saturday looks to be the sunniest of the 2 days, mostly sunny, a high of 61 degrees, so not quite as warm as maybe one would like for Saturday. And then we get into Sunday, a lot more cloud cover, still a dry day, and it's going to be warmer, a high of 78 degrees. My opinion, Sunday is the best day to spend some time outside because it's going to be warmer. Yes, it's not going to be as sunny as Saturday, but at least it's going to be dry. So you'll be able to, whatever day you like here, Saturday, Sunday, you'll be able to get outside and enjoy that weather. Now let's shift to next week because that's when our rain chances really start to pick up. We're tracking the chance for rain showers and a few thunderstorms Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Those are the three best chances for rain next week. And when we look at the long term beyond this next 7 days, it does look like we could see slightly wetter than normal conditions. That's what this light shade of green tells us on our rainfall outlook. Between April 17th and the 23rd, we've got about a 30 to 40% chance of being above normal in terms of the amount of precipitation that we see. So while we've got a couple of drier days in here with that rain chance for Friday, it looks like we might flip back to a wetter than average pattern, which obviously not good news for those of you that have outdoor plans, sporting events, baseball, track, things like that. But it is good news for the drought conditions because we've seen some drastic improvement in drought conditions over the past week, week and a half. This is a comparison of drought as of Tuesday, so 2 days ago, and then the week prior, Tuesday. So this is a week by week comparison. And the latest drought monitor update that came out this morning shows that drought has almost been completely wiped out in northeast Indiana and northwest Ohio. There is still a little bit of Paulding and Van Wert County that is under a level 1 out of 4 drought. And there is still some abnormally dry areas, Fort Wayne and places to the south. So that's why I'm saying, hey, it's actually good news that we've got more rain in the forecast over the next 7 to, I'd say, 10 days or so, because we want to keep pace with these improvements. We don't want to start going back the other way, especially given the fact that we spent so long with drought conditions. I mean, even just last week, there were parts of Allen County that were facing severe drought, with parts of Paulding and Van Wert facing extreme drought, level 3 out of 4. So we don't want to go back the other way. We want to keep making improvements because we've spent a long time under drought conditions. This graphic shows, and I'm going to explain it here, how long we spent in each category of drought for the past year. So this big area of red is at what percentage of the area was experiencing extreme drought. And it just grew and grew and grew since about 6 months ago. And since then, about 25% of the area that the Northern Indiana National Weather Service office covers was facing extreme drought, level 3 out of 4. When we look at severe drought, level 2 out of 4, it was at least 40 to 45%. Level 1 out of 4, it was anywhere between 60 to 70% of the area. It's been almost 8 months since anybody in Northeast Indiana and Northwest Ohio was not facing drought conditions. The yellow area, as a reminder, is level 0, so just dry, but not necessarily a drought condition. So it's been a long time that we've been without drought. So that's why I'm saying, hey, we still need to keep up on the rain chances because we don't want to go back the other way. And now, obviously, it's not a pretty picture in other parts of the country either. The drought monitor is showing extreme to exceptional levels of drought in parts of Arkansas and Oklahoma. There have been some improvements in Missouri, but parts of Kentucky and Tennessee still facing severe drought. So there are areas, at least close to us, that still need the rainfall. And when we look at the rainfall outlook over the next 7 days, how much rain are we talking about once this map loads? It's going to show that from northern Illinois through Iowa, parts of Missouri, parts of Arkansas, parts of Oklahoma, parts of Kansas, could see up to 3 inches of rain over the next 7 days. So if that's the case, we do expect some improvement in the drought conditions in those areas like Oklahoma and Arkansas. When we zoom in, for us, these shades of blue tell us that over the next 7 days, we could see anywhere between half an inch of rainfall to maybe an inch and a half of rainfall. And if we see about 1 inch of rain in that 7-day period, that would at least keep us on pace to where we're at right now. So 1 inch of rain more than likely keeps us in that abnormally dry to maybe moderate drought level, which is good. We still need more rain, but at least it's going to help us keep pace with the improvements that we've seen over the past couple of weeks. Now, the rain chances next week also come with the chance for some thunderstorms. So here's what we know and here's what we don't know. So what we know is that a few thunderstorms, just garden variety thunderstorms, are likely Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. What we don't know specifically is the extent of severe weather. We have seen our severe weather risk increase just a little bit for a couple of the days next week, but in terms of how widespread, how serious it's going to be, we're still a little bit too far out to give any specific details about that. So we don't know to what extent severe weather is going to be a problem. And there is a bit of a wild card in this, is that any minor shifts in the weather pattern over the next few days is going to change, one way or the other, the severe weather threat for us. The reason being is because we're kind of on that edge now of who has a higher risk for severe weather and who doesn't have a high risk for severe weather. When we look at the extended severe weather outlook from Sunday through at least Wednesday, you'll notice that yellow blob starting to shift to the east and the northeast. That's that severe weather threat expanding from Sunday to Monday into the northern Great Plains. And this is an update that we want to give you the first alert about. The severe weather risk from Monday into Tuesday then shifts into the Great Lakes region as well. It extends from Michigan all the way back through Texas. So this includes part of 21 country. And actually, my guess is if I zoom in here, this will show that pretty much all of Northeast Indiana, is under that 15% probability of seeing a severe thunderstorm on Tuesday. then on Wednesday, so Tuesday to Wednesday, that threat shifts a little bit further back to the west. But notice we're still right on the edge. And if you watched yesterday, northern Indiana wasn't even included in the higher risk for severe weather. It's not necessarily a high risk, but a higher risk. So that's why I'm saying the wild card is that if we see minor shifts one way or the other in how the weather pattern is looking over the next few days, that's going to shift where the higher risk for severe weather is.